Hello everyone, SmileWolf7 here. Welcome to a new video today. We are doing a theory video on the new novel that Scott Cawthon is bringing out for the Twisted ones, which is obviously, like I said, a new novel that he's bringing out. He released three pictures on his website, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at them and I'll give my theory to what he's got in store, what I think may happen throughout the story, and that sort of thing. So without further ado, let's get to it. And here we are. Now obviously, if you don't know who this character is, this is Freddy, or in the book's terms, Twisted Freddy. I believe that's what Scott Cawthon is calling him now, Twisted Freddy. I'm kind of speculating a few things at the minute, which, just from looking at the image, I'm not very positive on what 100% this could be. This could be obviously something what the child may be seeing in her nightmares, and by the way, the main protagonist is a she, not a he, which is actually something quite interesting. And the last book that he did was actually something around when she first visited the Fazbear pizzeria, I think it was, yeah, when she visited one of the pizzerias. But this is obviously the new one, which was a Twisted one, and obviously like I said, I'll try and get to more about this later on. But I think right now, this is actually something which I'm a little bit unsure about. What I mean by unsure about, I mean by, I'm not 100% certain if this would be a real sort of thing, or is she imagining, so, because the thing is, kids' imaginations can be wild. Obviously, we all know this, because when I was little and I thought, I don't know why I thought back then. I thought I had an imaginary friend, but obviously it didn't last long. It only lasted like 5 minutes, and that's it. I was just a weird kid back then. But obviously this is one of the animatronic photos. This is one of the photos that Scott Cawthon brought up in his official website called scottgames.com. And obviously, if you save the image, this would be titled as Twisted Freddy. So technically, this is another type of animatronic. So we've already got Wither, Toy, Nightmare, Phantom, Baby, that sort of shit. But now we've got Twisted. Now, what I think Scott is doing with these three images right now is kind of giving us a weird, what's the word? It's like a weird illusion, I think. We don't know we don't know what is real or fake anymore, I think. And by the time that we realize that this is a fake, like a fake sort of robot into a child's memory, and there's like the normal Freddy, Foxy, Barney, Chica, whoever, whatever, I think we may realize that it's not very helpful. None of these images are really helpful, but the last one I'll show you can actually give a little bit of a insight of what will happen. So obviously, I may as well get to the next animatronic in the code. So because up here, like zooming in, it was like here, I think. Yeah, secret code of the next two images. I'll get to one of the images in a minute, but I want to get more of an insight to what there is and what there isn't. So this technically, this Freddy is more of a nightmarish look. Except the thing is, I think the only problem that we don't understand is the boils on the side of his head, right here technically, around about here. Obviously, because I'm zooming in, it's not really giving you guys a proper good insight of what these things are. But obviously, this is the best I can work with. I can't do anything about it. If we zoom into his eyes are white now instead of like the nightmarish red. So again, this is like a different type of animatronic. This ain't like another Nightmare animatronic, because Scott Cawthon wouldn't just allow to have another type of same type of animatronic turn up in another story. I thought there would be more links to nightmares with this one, but I think this one's gonna be a lot more. It's gonna be another one of those brand new type of animatronics where we are a little bit more unsure about than we may think. But I think the next image, I think we may have a little bit more of an idea on what Scott Cawthon's kind of doing. So obviously, without further ado, I might as well see you guys in a second. Alright, next image. Now this is obviously Twisted Barney, if you don't know. Now what we've got so far is an image of like a Blade 2 kind of look. I'm not saying obviously like Blade as in general weird shit like that. I meant the Reapers, that vampire where his mouth spreads open. Now that's what I'm kind of thinking of with this. Obviously, if you guys don't know, that's what this image is mostly on. Is this bit here. Now, obviously, again, this is just to my perspective. The blurb of the back of the book, the description of the book says that something about someone is making these animatronics for his own well-being. So I'm thinking, is this the work of this guy, of this in particular person who's making these animatronics? Or is this like again, a kid's imagination? Obviously, I haven't read the first book, so I don't really know what is in store. But looking from this image, I can clearly tell Scott Cawthon just went hammer with this. Again, boils down here, and long fingernails, reminder of Nightmare Barney from Final Fantasy 4. Very open chest here, obviously. Really, again, this reminds me more of a Nightmare Barney look, but a lot, like 10 times more of a fucked up factor. Sorry for my strong language, but I'm just saying, this is more of a fucked up look. If Nightmare Barney had some kind of mutant DNA or something like a bloody nuclear reaction, this is what you may get. But this means, the image doesn't really give you a lot of information. This can mean anything. And obviously, if this animatronic in particular is going to be in the novel, we may have some kind of idea on what may happen within, I don't know, that time and this moment. So, obviously, we can see from up here a bit more of description. We found these sharp nails or sharp things around his shoulders. Now, again, this could mean anything from either this is the person who made these animatronics, what he may think of an animatronic should look like if it had a fucked up factor of 500. Or this could mean anything from the imagination of the child kicking in, going to the fear factor, fight or flight mode, I think. I'm not too sure. But again, this image is fucked up. The last image is going to get a lot more confusing to those people, because this is my favourite image. You will find out why. But right now, let's just concentrate on this for now. So obviously, are kind of tucked in, and I can see like loads of like saliva parts and like torn up parts down here. Maybe the guy who made it may have washed or kind of added too much like bits and pieces. It's trying to melt itself. Again, I found boils. There are loads of boils on this. So I'm thinking either he's doing this because of some kind of problem he had, or he's doing this to frighten the hell out of little ones, like little girls or little kids. Obviously little kids, but you know what I mean. Now, obviously we're gonna have to move on to the last image, and I'll explain everything about this so far and why am I doing this video. I will be right back. Final image. Okay, now you guys are gonna get very, very confused on why this image is most likely gonna face the facts. Imagine this: you're in a bedroom. You think about an in particular thing, what happened in the past. So, for example, this can be anything from a past time experience. This image says it all. It says everything from dream. So one side, technically, I'm gonna give you the fact. One side is dream, other side is real. Obviously these two sides here are mostly important. But what I'm saying is one side is more real, like a realistic, nightmarish look. Whilst the other side is more representing real life. Imagine that you had a nightmare of an in particular thing what happened to you, but so the person in your dream is a monster, a lookalike to a monster that you disliked when you was a little kid. like a creepypasta. Imagine that you were watching a little TV show and you realized you had so much strange memories, you had nightmares of a TV show. That's technically what this site's for. The other side, however, is more based around the real life factor. It's and obviously these are animatronics, not human beings. The reason why probably they're doing this is because one side represents dream and fantasy, while the other side represents some kind of nasty fear. A nasty, great fear that we don't know what this may be about. But obviously we don't know this because Scott Cawthon is hidden this. We're gonna have to wait until the novel comes out, because if this guy, let's just call him Wolfie for now. If Wolfie is in this novel, we will find some kind of we'll find some kind of idea on what this guy is supposed to represent, or she. It really doesn't matter. It more looks like a male anyways. We don't know this. It may actually represent like what this person has done to this girl with the making his own robots. Because, well, like I said, one side will represent real life, the robot of the person who created, the monster who made these freaky, twisted animatronics. Then the other side will represent the nightmare, the dream look. Obviously, if you don't get it, the point is that depending on what you see, it will always look like it will still be there, but it will have a different perspective, different look. It's like with the other, like Freddy here. He may look different in a dream or something, I don't know, and then the other one here, Barney, would be exactly the same, but except that obviously it won't really it doesn't really link to what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that depending on what the perspective is between the monster, the nightmarish monster side and the robotic side of things, it would kind of link to what this person is getting. Scott Cawthon is doing so much things right now which kind of is blowing people's minds, and right now these images, and this image in particular, is doing my justice. It's doing justice with what it has to offer. But this can mean anything. The image can mean anything. It can mean anything from what someone has done in the past, or what this person could do, did, and this guy didn't notice. But the thing is, what Scott Cawthon is doing, he has an endless hallway, technically an endless hallway. There's no end to this until we find some kind of answer. All theorists are doing this right now, finding answers. We can't find answers with these images, but I'm thinking what it is perspective. We respect the image, it's perspective of what it's gonna have to be. So, like I said, one side would be the monster from the closet or something. Like, imagine like if the person's made this particular animatronic last, what would this animatronic would look like when it comes out to chase you? And then the other side would be the nightmare, the dream version of it. Imagine like a fantasy world. What would this thing would look like in a fantasy world? But obviously it'll be a fucking monster inside. We don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking at the minute. And plus, the background could mean anything as well. It could mean that this is in her dream, for example. And like this one, like Nightmare, the Twisted Freddy. This could mean like this is in one of the dreams that she have, or the Barney. This may be from a another dream setup, but we don't know. We don't know. I'm speculating that either the image is kind of linked to the characters that Scott Cawthon is making, or some kind of something even worse than what I thought. Again, it's my perspective, it's my theory. It may be wrong, it may not. It's up to you, to be honest. If you guys think my theory is semi,